NATO Secretary-General Stoltenberg continues to pressure allies to fulfill their promises to Ukraine and at least provide what was promised by the current agreement. At the same time, he reiterated that helping Ukraine counter Russian aggression is also a contribution to the security of the country, so the transatlantic community themselves.
The most expensive alternative is to allow Putin to win in Ukraine. Because then we will actually live in a much more dangerous world. Then our security will really be challenged. And then we have to invest significantly more in our defense compared to the support we now deliver to Ukraine. So the reality is that it has a cost to have an aggressive neighbor. And we have a very aggressive neighbor. There's no way you can run away from that cost. We can only invest now in Ukraine's security. That's good for them, it's good for us, and it actually reduces the overall cost of coping with Russia as a neighbor.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Norwegian Armed Forces, Eirik Kristoffersen, said that supporting Ukraine was his top priority for this year.
I said it in January last year. I don't see short-term military solution in Ukraine. I got a lot of pushback on that because we were all eager to make sure that Ukraine was winning in the spring offensive. But I couldn't see that we were investing enough in Ukraine. And I still think we are not investing enough in support. So we need to continue doing that. Eirik Kristoffersen, head of the Norwegian Armed Forces, breaking defense reports.
British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said that London would send Typhoon fighters to Poland as part of support for Warsaw. These aircraft should strengthen the protection of Polish airspace.
Air defense is crucial, and the UK wants to support Poland in this and cooperate closely with you. We are major military powers helping Ukraine. We have been helping Poland's neighbor for 2 years already. When it comes to our military assistance, I want to help even more. Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Polskie Radio reports.
Sweden and Finland, two new NATO members, have an important role to play in maintaining peace while at the same time preparing for potential war. This was stated by the President of Finland, Alexander Stubb.
The best way to avoid war is to talk less and prepare more. I think you feel the same way. It is understandable. Our screens are filled with wars in Europe and the Middle East. That is why we want a strong military and why we joined NATO. Alexander Stubb, President of Finland, Euractiv reports.
German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said that the military-industrial complex of Russia was already working to fill weapons warehouses. At the same time, he warned Europeans about dictator Putin's further military ambitions.
One can be naive and say that he is only doing this out of caution. As a skeptic, I would rather say, in this case, he is doing this because he is planning something or has something in mind. Boris Pistorius, Federal Minister of Defense of Germany, NTV reports.
Усиление угрозы.
The increasing threat from Russia directly to NATO countries, it gives rise to an adequate and objective understanding of these risks and this threat. First of all, this concerns the Baltic countries, primarily Poland, the Scandinavian countries and also the countries of Southern Europe, which in principle have also woken up from the malicious goals of the Russian Federation.
Bloomberg reports that Sweden wants to prepare its infrastructure for a possible military confrontation with Russia, and therefore the country needs to modernize its ports, roads, railway networks, hospitals and shelters. By the end of 2028, about 1,000 qualified Swedes should be called up to protect energy supplies. These people will build stronger defense structures and increase monitoring of the power grid. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Yulia Bil, UATV News.